smarts and my...
He told me enough.
No, I.
Here's Chuck.
You know, I still never understand why some films made for the Gen Z crowds apparently get a fucking pass. Like, somehow, this apparently has an 89% on a paid critic site, a 7.7 out of 10 on a you-know-what site. I don't fucking get why. Because when I saw this movie, I saw nothing worth praising. Hardly. Okay? I just thought this was not worth praising. Okay, so before I start this, if you don't like what I have to say, click off the video and go watch something else. If you're not gonna be happy, if you're gonna get all pissy about what I have to say, and if you're gonna try to get all mad at me for what I have to say. But if you're willing to hear what I have to say, then go ahead and stick around. But if you're gonna get all mad, leave. Alright? Because you're gonna hear a lot of disagreements in this video. Because I simply did not like this movie. Problem solved. So anyway, here we go, guys. It's Don G. Corleone here. As you can tell, I'm here with a brand new rant. And this rant is going to be for a film from director Luca Guadagnino. Can't pronounce, yeah. And this, and it's going to be for a film about tennis. And it was for apparently a film that got delayed by the strikes. And it's another delayed film for the strikes that starred this actress. Not just Dune Part 2. There was another film that was also set to come out last year starring her, but it also got delayed by the strikes because she's extremely famous and has a big fan base. But yeah, this is going to be for none other than April's Challengers. Yeah, Luca Guadagnino's first newest film. Yeah, so what's the plot? Well, from visionary filmmaker Luca Guadagnino, Challenger stars Zendaya as Chashi Duncan, who's a former tennis prodigy turned coach and a force of nature, makes no apologies for her game on and off the court. She's married to a champion on a losing streak, played by Mike Face from West Side Story. And Tashi's strategy for her husband's redemption takes a surprising turn when he has to face off against the washed-up Patrick, who's played by Josh O'Connor from the movie The Crown. So yeah, his former best friend and Tashi's former boyfriend. Yeah, because there's two people competing for this chick. And as their past and present collide, because it's a non-linear narrative movie, tensions run high, then Tashi has to ask herself what it's going to cost to win. So yeah, how's this made? Well, it was around December 2021 in Hollyweird when the scripts landed on the blacklist. You know, lists of the best unproduced scripts in that country in Hollyweird. Then in February 2022, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer landed the film, and Luca Guadagnino would be directing the film, and Zendaya, Josh O'Connor, and Mike Face were set to star. And what's more, Zendaya did not only star in this, but also produced it. And honestly, I think that was really not a good choice. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm not going to be soft on horrible choices for this movie. I'm not going to be soft on every horrible choice in this film. All right? I think she really should have not produced this. In a 2022 interview with Collider, Guadagnino cited Carizza's screenplay, Amy Pascal and Zendaya generals inspirations for making the film. So filming began in Boston on May 8th, 2022, and a casting call took place at residents who auditioned to play some tennis players, extras, and stand-ins. And in preparation for the roles, Zendaya, Faison, and O'Connor had to spend 3 months training with pro tennis player turned coach Brad Gilbert. And Gilbert was a consultant for the film. Then filming occurred in and around the Back Bay and East Boston neighborhoods. Senator Mugdig Prom served as cinematographer. Jonathan Anderson, creative director of Spanish luxury brand Louis, served as costume designer. And then filming would wrap on June 26, 2022. And it was going to be released in September 2023, but the actors' strike delayed it. And then it's just so after the actors' strike got resolved around December, November of last year, Challengers would finally be released. Would premiere in Sydney on March 26, 2024, and will be released theatrically in the United States by Amazon MGM Studios on April 26, 2024. Last month. And when it came to reactions, the movie got positive reviews from critics and grossed a decent amount at the box office worldwide. Now, when it comes to my reaction, as you know, I don't mind Zendaya. There's been films from Zendaya that I like, as much as I don't like her character in the MCU Spider-Man movies. I enjoy her in other things. I mean, I enjoyed The Greatest Showman. I enjoy the Doom movies, parts 1 and 2. Yeah, like Doom Part 2 is my favorite movie of this year. I was interested in this film because, yeah, that's why I was interested in this film. Especially after I liked her performance in Doom Part 2. This one took me a while, but I finally watched it for your guys' benefits. How is this movie? Well, guess what, guys? Because just by this intro, I think this movie's overrated as fuck. So yeah, I think it sucks. It felt like this movie was strictly for a Gen Z crowd, and I think only they would like this movie. It was overly confusing to follow because it's a non-linear movie, and it should not have been a non-linear movie. It went on way too damn long. It did not need to be 130 minutes. And when it comes to Zendaya's character Tashi, Zendaya gives an alright performance, but honestly, her character just felt bitchy. Yeah, just bitchy and manipulative, and honestly, too damn unlikable to sympathize with. But even the other two guys that are fighting over her, that are fighting for this clear gold digger, that are too stupid to notice, they aren't really likable either. Yeah, they're basically simps for her character. So yeah, like Luca's latest challengers, it throws viewers to the center of a passionate but love triangle with Tashi, who's now a coach and was formerly a tennis prodigy player. She's now desperate to reignite the flame of her husband Art's career. Yeah, but her solution, she has to enter Patrick, Art's estranged best friend Tashi's boyfriend, into a low-level challenger event. And things obviously get complicated fast. On paper, Challengers has all the ingredients for a gripping new noir drama. Yeah, the sizzling chemistry between Zendaya and Fast being undeniable, I guess. The warfare that unfolds between the leads is captivating. But then it fumbles all of its potential. You have the plot, which is intriguing at its core, but it doesn't matter though. It takes detours that leave the audience feeling lost and confused. The editing is literally jumpy cuts and unnecessary slow motion sequences. They just disrupt the narrative and flow rather than enhancing it. And the dialogue is riddled with cliches and dramatic pronouncements. It feels like a bad tennis pun all forehand. No value put into this. The direction from Guadagnino is mixed. There's moments of visual brilliance, like the camera work that mimics the frenetic energy of a high-stakes tennis match. These glimpses get overshadowed by a general lack of focus. The film's pacing is not even. There's a between melodrama, drawn-out melodrama, and rushed plot points that go nowhere. The use of symbolism is heavy-handed. There's shots lingering on tennis balls and trophies, as if we need some emotional subtext and a bunch of fucking tennis balls and a bunch of fucking trophies for some weird reason. But it doesn't even add anything to the movie. But anyway, how does this film start? Well, apparently in chronological order, because this movie's jumbled. It's a non-linear movie for some weird reason. It's 2006. And we have two main characters who are high schoolers and childhood best friends named Patrick and Art. They win the boys' juniors doubles title for the US Open. And then after that, they meet another tennis player named Tashi Duncan, our female lead, which is highly lauded young tennis prospect whom Patrick and Art are immediately both attracted to, especially after seeing her dance at a beach party. And during this tennis game where she wins and like one tennis player is smashing a racket on the ground like a fucking idiot or a fucking 3-year-old. Yeah, they have a lot of tennis players fucking do that throughout the movie. I'll get to that part later though. That's not important right now. But anyway, our three unlikable leads meet in a hotel room. And while they're talking, like Tashi describes her passion for tennis and a relationship between players that represents their rally. And it's an ensuing encounter. Like the two boys kiss both Tashi, and then they kiss each other. But then Tashi ends the tryst before it escalates to trying to have sex. Then Patrick and Art play each other in the junior singles final the next day. Then Tashi says like whoever wins is going to get her phone number. Patrick wins the match and signals to Art that he had sex with Tashi, placing the ball in the neck of his racket prior to serving. And switches a tick of Art's like the scene where they meet in the hotel room. There's plenty of like this is definitely the worst scene of the movie because like when you have the losing opponent smashing a literal tennis racket. Yeah, everyone does that in the fucking movie. Whenever they lose, they smash their fucking rackets like they're toddlers. I'm pretty sure tennis players don't fucking do that. From the matches I've seen, when I see them lose, I don't see them smashing their fucking rackets. Do you have 3-year-old write these scenes? And you get loads of scenes like that. I don't pay attention to tennis because I don't give an ass about tennis. Tennis seems like a boring ass sport to play. So, like, I'm pretty sure they don't smash their rackets when they fail or lose. If they do, tell me in the comments below because I don't pay attention to tennis because I don't care about tennis. During the scene where the two meet Tashi in the hotel room, there's this one bit of dialogue where Patrick mentions, I taught Art how to masturbate at 12 years old. Yeah, I totally want to see a scene in a movie about a guy that says he taught his friend 12 years old how to jerk off. Yeah, like, there's even other dialogue scenes like, dude, put your dick away. Like, when the two are in the locker room, and I think it's Art or Patrick, one of them's naked in front of his face. Like, put your dick away. Yeah, this movie has annoying, immature 12-year-old dialogue. Well, I'm at it. But yeah, after the phone number part, after Art gets phone number and has sex with Tashi and Art go to play college tennis at university, and Patrick turns professional. He gets a long-distance relationship with Tashi while on tour, and Art privately suggests to Tashi that Patrick doesn't love her, so basically Art interferes on their fucking relationship. Yeah, that's already like why these three are such assholes. And Patrick visits Stanford, and Art suggests to him that Tashi does not take the relationship seriously. And Patrick sees Art is jealous and teases him for trying to disrupt his relationship with Tashi. Yeah, no, clearly he wants Tashi for his fucking self as well. Dude, are you stupid as fuck to notice that? Probably. Then Patrick and Tashi fight when she gives him unsolicited tennis advice during another sex scene. And says that he views her as a peer and not as coach. Then in the match afterwards, when Tashi leaves him over that, because I'm being an asshole too, she suffers a knee injury. And I'll admit her performance in this scene was pretty fine here. I'll admit that. Even though I still don't like her character, I thought she didn't do fine with her performance in scenes like this. Patrick goes out to comfort Tashi, but suddenly she's mad, orders him to get out, and Art even takes her side, tells his own friend of all people to get out. Well, then again, this guy was clearly trying to turn them against each other. Then Art aids Tashi recovery, but she does not end up resuming her tennis career at all. So then we cut to 2009, where Tashi reconnects with Art and becomes his coach. Then suddenly the two get into another romantic relationship. And apparently he and Patrick have not spoken since Tashi's injury at all. Then 2 years later after that, then another 2 years later, Tashi and Art are now engaged, and Art's career is going great. And Tashi and Patrick then run into each other at the Atlantic Open. They have a one-night stand, and Art secretly notices this. So apparently this chick can't make up her fucking mind who she prefers. Because she's manipulative. She's a manipulative bitch. Yeah, she picks either Art or, oh no, has one night stand with this guy right here. This bitch can't make up her fucking mind. Yeah, there's pretty much plenty of scenes where Tashi just comes off as a cheating bitch. She seems like she loves Art more, and then some minor incidents make it look like she loves Patrick more. Apparently, but no, guess what, guys? Art and Patrick are too fucking stupid to even realize this. They think, whoa, she loves both of us. Clearly fucking not. I don't know what good you see in this fucking chick. This chick's clearly using both of you. But no, they think she loves both of them. So they fight over this chick. Because they don't have a brain. Because they just want to get laid and they want to be popular. Yeah, they're just douchebag boys you don't give an ass about. And the movie wants you to. So yeah, the homoerotic storyline does not work for me for those reasons. I don't have problems with people or persuasion in some movies, but it just does not work for a movie like this. It feels out of place and jumbled. It's more objectionable. There's too much male nudity I don't want to see. I don't want to see Art Patrick's dicks. And well, I don't want to see them telling to put their dick away out of their face. I especially do not want to see no female nudity for unattractive youngsters. That to me, like, that's just pure vile. It's literally a streak on the part of Holly Weird. Yeah. It's just like you're watching 2-hour advertisements of like tennis or clothing brands or teenage nudity. And it's just 3 very hot people that you don't give an ass about starring in. Playing 3 characters you don't care about. The script was like zero, shallow, and bad. Directing was kind of disappointing as hell. There were some unique things about the direction. But that was about it. There might have been potential for a good story here with Tashi's obsession with tennis to winning, or maybe her trying to get her career back on track. Maybe this was about her trying to recover and get her career back on bloody track, and stuff. Kind of like with Rocky 2. They kind of did that with Rocky 2, where Rocky's in Rocky, like it was said right after the first film. And then, like, Rocky, like, the doctor said, like, because of, like, Rocky's injuries, he should not box no more. But Rocky won a lot of money, and because Rocky was poor in the first film, and he's never had much experience with money before, and this is his first time being rich, Rocky does spend it all, but so now he needs to go find a job. And since because he can't find work, he has to go back to boxing. We could have had a movie like that right here, like what Rocky 2 did. No. Apparently that's wrong in today's world. We need to have a film where a bunch of 2 guys that are literally fighting for some chick. Instead. Yeah, like, there. Now I don't get how these guys let themselves be manipulated. Nobody does. Like, there's glimpses of potential in challengers. And when the film is at its best, they're barely carried forward. They get lost in confusing back and forth timelines because this apparently needed to be non-linear for no reason. And it may have been aimed at engaging the audience by current pieces of the story, but they just deflate the tension inside between the characters. So, yeah, after the one-night stand with Tashi and Patrick, we cut to 2019. A whole lot of years. Tashi and Art are now married, and they're a wealthy couple, and they have a daughter. And then under Tashi's coaching, like, Art is now a professional tennis player, and he's won U.S. Open title away from a career Grand Slam. But he was struggling after recovering from an injury as well that we never saw, because apparently the director thinks that was not important. Tashi then enters Art as a wild card in a challenger event in New Rochelle, New York, so he can boost his confidence and return to beating lower-level opponents. Patrick, on the other hand, he's now an unknown bum living in his car because apparently he's too lazy to find a job, thinking that tennis will make him money, and just scrapes off winnings from lower circuits. Enters the New Rochelle event as well. There's like the scene that first showed him in this part. He tried to get into a hotel with a credit card that didn't work. When he tries to bribe a lady about it, she like says, "No, get out of here. Get a card that works." So he leaves. He sleeps in his fucking car. Yeah, then the owner finds out he's there for the event and doesn't even kick him out. He was about to, but when he says that he was there to sign up for the event, it's like, okay, you can stay and sign up for the event, even though even though you basically were trespassing by sleeping in your car. Yeah, like now, like during one of Art and Tashi scenes at the motel they're staying at throughout the film on the main timeline, you literally get a reference to the Spider-Verse movies, where Tashi's daughter asks Tashi if they can watch Spider-Verse. Yeah, like there's a part with that. And honestly, like when I watched this part, I could literally bet you that Luca himself put that in there because he recognized that Zendaya was engaged to Tom Holland from the MCU Spider-Man movies and also starred with him in the MCU Spider-Man trilogy and just randomly wanted a Spider-Man reference. But randomly, instead of referencing those, just randomly reference into the Spider-Verse movies, reference into the Spider-Verse. Honestly, pick the wrong films to reference if you really wanted a Spider-Man reference. So yeah, Art and Patrick then begin their match. They start at the opposite ends, they advance through the brackets, and they find themselves facing each other in the final. Then the day before the match, Patrick quickly, again, in his bum-like self, attempts to reconnect with Art. Art decides to still be an asshole to his own friend, rejects him, his career's over, and then Art will be remembered in tennis history. Yeah, not with an arrogant attitude like that, you will, dumbass. Like, didn't you have a losing streak at first? And didn't you have a fucking injury that apparently the film never shows? Apparently that doesn't matter. But Patrick decides to try to still woo Tashi for himself as well, to still also be a stupid moron. He decides, like, and knowing that Art's tired of playing tennis, Patrick secretly decides to ask Tashi to coach him to one last winning season. She still rejects him again. The night before the final, Art declares to Tashi that he's going to retire at the end of the season, whether he wins the Open or not. But even though, like, just making it clear that Tashi is apparently living her tennis career through him, because she's clearly using him for fame. But these two guys are too blind to see that. She just responds with silence, and Art then starts begging for reassurance that she still loves him. She half-heartedly, because she clearly doesn't give a fuck, claims that she accepted quitting, even though Art clearly knows that she does not, knows that she's clearly not, and refuses to believe this. So Tashi decides to still motivate him, and says that if he loses to Patrick, she's going to leave him. Yeah. They connect. Wow. You can't have a scene where this chick tries to be fucking sympathetic, not just picking whoever fucking wins to date and have sex with. But no, yeah, because apparently we can't do that. We need to make this girl a bitch. Like she is throughout the whole fucking, like almost every character is in the fucking movie. So Tashi meets with Patrick, asks him to throw the match to Art. Patrick reluctantly agrees, and then the two have fucking sex again. How many sex scenes do we need to have with these fucking two? Tashi goes back to the hotel room, and Art's sleeping in her daughter's room, and it indicates, Tashi snuck out. Yeah, so there could have. Yeah, so you think maybe. Art, maybe you think you should probably know that this girl was cheating on you and maybe fucking leave? No. Then again, these two don't realize it. These two never realize that this chick clearly is just using them. It's just turning them against one another. Then again, they weren't really nice. They weren't really nice people to begin with. They clearly seem like idiot people, like judging by their past in the motel scene when they first met her, when he taught him at 12 years old to masturbate at a weird age. I'm pretty sure most people don't masturbate till they're teenagers. So this guy already seemed disturbed as fuck. They could have made this a normal movie. No, they had to jumble up a whole bunch of things because they think nonlinear is cool. Like, you just get told through a series of flashbacks, and it's too difficult. Like, relationships change. Like, there's plenty of non-linear movies that work. Saw was non-linear and it worked. Deadpool was non-linear and it worked. What else can I think of? Other non-linear stuff. Oh, shit. There's plenty of that. Sin City was non-linear and it works. Right? Here's a reason. Those are how you do non-linear stuff. If you do it right, it works. If it's stuff like this, it fails. Tennis is just featured throughout the film. I mean, it's shown in a stylist manner with little attention to the progress of any matches. Like, now, I'll admit, like, in the tennis scenes, you did get some nice camera shots between the first point of view's Art, or the first person point of view of Patrick, or even a first person point of view of the tennis ball at one point. Those were nice moments, but they don't save the film. Like, this clearly, like, the only reason this, clearly the only reason this movie got any hype was because it starred Zendaya, who is liked by a lot of people. But I don't think this even does her many favors, because, like, Tashi, she's not sympathetic. She manipulates these two idiots against one another. She gets even more and more of an asshole as the film progresses. And she doesn't get much opportunity to do much else beyond, like, not much else. It's compounded by the fact that especially even neither Art nor Patrick are even sympathetic either. Not only they're not just stupid to not notice that this girl is using them, they apparently aren't even sympathetic either. Like, the story is essentially about the relationship between three unlikable characters, so it's difficult for me to care or difficult for me to like this movie. The film just pushes toward the result of the Challenger Competition duel, being critical to both of them, and then it cops out with a lazy as fuck ending. So right here, guys, is where you get the finale. And it's the day of the final part of the match. Tashi's watching from the crowd, and Art and Patrick are matched. Patrick wins the first set, and Art wins the second. So Art takes the lead fate in the final game, and Patrick begins to throw the match for double faults, but then he stops short of losing, and instead signals that he slept with Tashi using Art's severe tick, so Art is stunned by this, and, like, he doesn't look mad, but he just allows Patrick to score until they're tied. So now it's a tiebreak, and Art and Patrick are furiously trading turns. The rally then intensifies, and both jump for a volley at the net, and Art begins to slam the ball, but he collides with Patrick over the net, and the two tightly embrace. So, the rivalry is ended once and for all. Tashi erupts from the stands, and is finally satisfied with Art and Patrick's tennis gameplay and relationship. So, and then the movie's over. Right there. That right there, guys, is the end of Challengers. How is this movie? It's confusing. It's immaturely written and immature dialogue. It's way too fucking long. There's no good characters, and everybody is just a generic cringy bastard. It's not even a proper ending. Like, what happens to this? After the match, after these two, like, embrace once the match is over, don't they still have to finish the match? I'm pretty sure you have to still finish the match, and there can't only be one winner. They don't just randomly end the match there or something like that, but they still gotta finish the match. They didn't even finish the fucking match. And what happens after that? Did it say, does, like, the homeless bum Patrick go in his car and stuff? Just go back to sleeping like a bum in his car? And do Tashi probably does Tashi leave either of them because they didn't finish the match or something, while still satisfied they resolved their friendship, but still leaves them anyway? They never touch up on that, because apparently the director doesn't fucking care. You know what would be a better ending? After Art and Patrick hugged and reconciled, they realized, hey, this bitch was using us and manipulating both of us against each other the entire time. And guess what they should have done? Dump her. Go back to being just friends themselves. You two are better off without this fucking chick. This chick was clearly using both of you for whoever was the most famous, and clearly dating Art because he had the most winning streak, and was clearly going to leave his ass if he lost. and then went and pretty much cheated on Art multiple fucking times. Like, that would be better because, like, this chick was not sympathetic, used Art for his career, was gonna leave him if he lost, and had sex, and constantly kept having sex with Patrick even if she hated him. That'd be a better ending. No, apparently we don't need to see whatever the hell the ending is. Now, okay, fine. If I have any good qualities, like, Zendaya gives a fine performance, even if her character was horrible. Her character was one of the most unlikable girlfriends I've seen in cinema in a long time. I like some of the camera shots of the tennis matches. I like the first-person point of views of Art, or the first-person point of views of Patrick, or the first-person point of view of the ball. And maybe there were some ones that give me a light chuckle, but other than those guys, Challengers, in my opinion, sucks. If people want to rage at me for saying that and think I don't understand the whole point of this movie, guys, I watched this fucking movie. This is how the movie fucking goes. I'm not kidding around. And I'm sorry, but I just didn't. I don't get how this gets a 7.7 out of 10, how this gets an 89% on paid critic sites. It just baffles me. I have no idea what half these people watched, but it must have been something different from what I saw. Because I did not see a film that was even worth praising. Right? There's been plenty better movies I've seen this year that deserve this 7.7. The Fall Guy should have got this 7.7. Hell, I watched If this weekend as an imaginary friend. Yeah, that new film directed by John Krasinski starring Ryan Reynolds. Like, that film was fucking better. That's a kid's movie, and even that was fucking better than this. What else can I think of? Boy Kills World was better than this movie. It's like, Dune Part 2 even was a better movie than this. That also starts in day, and even that was a way better damn film than this. Civil War from A24 with Kirsten Dunst was a better movie than this movie. Godzilla X Kong was also better than this. There's been plenty of films I've seen this year that I liked that are all that I'd rather watch over this fucking movie. So yeah, I don't like this movie, okay? People just need to deal with it if they're not going to be happy about it. So in the end, guys, Challengers, yeah, it's an avoid for those who are not a fan of films like this today, because it's strictly a movie made for the 2020s crowd. Honestly, they'd probably like it more than the crowd who's from like the 90s or the 2000s would probably not like this movie like I did. Anyways, guys, that's it for my rant on Challengers. If we're going to rate Challengers, here's how I'm going to rate this movie. So overall, unless you're part of the Gen Z crowd or something, then you can very likely avoid this movie because you won't find anything remotely that much masterpiece worthy here. And if you're wondering how I'm going to rate Challengers, I'm going to give Challengers a 5 out of 10. There we go, guys. That wraps up my rant for Challengers. Even though I didn't like the film, I still want to know in the comments down below what you guys thought of Challengers. Those who did see the movie, whether you actually liked it, whether you actually hated it. But be nice about it. Don't say you didn't understand. If you say things like you didn't understand the whole point of the movie clearly, or you clearly don't know characters at all, then you know what will happen. Right? So you need to be nice about your opinions in the comments because I read the comments and I know nice or rude comments when I see them. All right? But yeah, I want to know what you guys thought of Challengers, whether you liked or hated it in the end. Until then, guys, that'll be it for this rant. Thank you all for watching. If you like this, want to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe to Don G. Corleone.